Today on the Everyday Golfer we have a surprise for a certain mid-handicap golfer with a new rangefinder. Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the Everyday Golfer. Today we're testing a rangefinder. Dave is a big fan of his Millisy rangefinder. Had one for a long time. Yeah. As always with Dave, with everything in his golf bag, it is due for an upgrade. And Millisy have reached out for us to have a review and test this out compared to his old one. So you've had yours for a couple of years, Dave?
About 2.5 years, yeah.
2.5 years, and one big thing he said, which is not going to be very good today, is testing it in water, testing it in the rain. And that's the big thing here with the PF1 Millisy rangefinder. It is waterproof, so that's a massive thing for Dave when he's looking for one of these. So we're going to put it through its test today. We're going to see how it compares. We're going to see with the slope, with it being a little bit more lightweight. Is that something Dave would invest in, and would he be suggesting it for you guys, the Everyday Golf? So straight away, everybody wants to know, does size matter? And we can see with the new PF1, nearly half the size of the previous Millisy Dave was using. But Dave's going to take us away now. His driver's down. It's about how good it's been out here today. He's just rested it down. So, par 5 here. Dave has just used the rangefinder. He's seen that it is around about 10 yards downhill. So he knows this drive might go a little bit further than he normally expects because it is downhill. But
it's all carry, Chris. It's all carry because there's no run.
It's all carry, you're right. This time of the year, the hardest time to play golf, and this is where having the right rangefinder, the right clubs, and knowing your distances is essential for you to get your handicap down this year. Ooh, drawing down the left side. There's a bunker there. Dave said his ball is a magnet to bunkers. However, that is in the semi-rough.
It's a better hit than normal, Chris.
Let's get down there. So guys, just like last week, we are trying to bring things that are more affordable. So Dave, Frankie and the new guys coming to the channel will be testing clubs that are expensive, testing more affordable clubs. Dave went out and bought some Tacomos because they fitted his budget. They have worked well. We're now talking rangefinders, so we are thinking the Millisy's pricing obviously is a lot less than a Bushnell, for example. But with Dave already using this, I thought it's a perfect example to see, have they evolved, have they come on? It is a little bit smaller, it's a little bit lighter. What are you looking for a rangefinder? Is it mainly price? But also we're going to show you the key things on there that are going to help you lower your scores, especially this time of the year where we're not getting much run and we want to lower that handicap. So we can see with the devices now, the new Millisy PF1 is more compact, so a lot smaller than Dave's previous. Not too old, a couple of years old, has slope on it. We'll show you how that works in a second. Dave is more than happy with how this new Millisy lets us get the slope when we're hitting into the green. So to get slope on Dave's previous rangefinder, we had to open this up and obviously switch it on or off. So when you're in competition, wasn't always easy, didn't always remember if you had it on, and we know that it's not allowed in competition. One big thing there is what we're going to talk about next, which is the lithium battery. So Dave, here par 5, what are you actually using the rangefinder to get now?
There's a set of bushes down there, Chris, that when I've played this course before, if I've hit a relatively average tee shot, I've put it in them. And the reason I've managed to put it in them with a hybrid is because, or before hybrid, is because the 213 yards away, but it's only like 200 on the slope.
Yeah, so only playing, well, it is 213 actually to those bushes we can now see, but with the slope only playing 210. So when you're playing at your golf course, having a rangefinder with slope is good when you're just out playing like this, just out playing. Start to see that if in competition you hit your driver here, you know, right, it's 213, doesn't mean you try and hit it that far. So Dave now knows what you're going to hit down there, a 5 hybrid?
Yeah.
So a 5 hybrid instead of a 4 hybrid, that's going to leave him short, that's going to leave him a shot into the green.
Yeah, it's not just whether or not I could make it there. If I'm just 15 yards this side of it, I can't get over it.
True, and if David gets too close to the bushes, like you said there, he's going to be fearing that, oh, I can't get over, he might lean back, and then we all know what happens. It's a low bullet, straight into the bushes. So, 5 hybrid. We know Dave has a tendency to draw this a little bit, so he can go left of the bushes and draw it back towards the middle. That's done exactly what we normally see. It's a little bit of a draw down towards the fairway. I think it might be just short of a path that we know is there. So as you'll see by the title of this video, guys, it is obviously the most important thing to have in your golf bag, or the most important purchase. So it is something that is important for obviously getting the right distance, picking the right club. As we know from most golfers, they leave the ball short, so they don't know how far they hit the clubs. They often then, right, I've busted all that, that's 215 yards, I can hit my 6-iron that far. Yeah, if you've hit 1 in a million that goes 215 yards, that's great, but you need to know what your averages are. You're then using that rangefinder to be able to go, right, I know which options hit this. Also with the slope, that's what a lot of people miss out. They don't always use the slope. They then hit a shot, right, that's 213 yards. I've hit it 213 yards, but it's gone straight into the bush or into the trouble. If that was your layup, it might be past that, and you're starting to add shots onto your score that you don't need.
And if it's your own normal home course, Chris, you know, like, you can't use it in competition, obviously. There's nothing to stop you on a practice round taking a note of what the difference in height is and what that difference in club makes.
Yeah, so you know on the 3rd hole at Garforth, Dave, that it is uphill.
It is,
so
yeah.
How far does that play uphill? You know this without being there, so how far does that play uphill?
It's 10, 12 yards difference, Chris.
Exactly, so straight away Dave knows that, so when he goes in competition he can take that into account. So here we're now hitting down to the green where those 2 big trees are. We'll see how far downhill it is. So what is it saying, Dave?
It's 218 yards to the hole, but because it's downhill, it's playing 210.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about this that my other Millicey hasn't got is that when it locks on to the pin, it vibrates in your hand, so you know, and then it just comes up with a constant figure.
Yeah, perfect. And I'll put all the information about this rangefinder on screen now, as Millicey have sent it for Dave, the sensation, to try, because he knows he is a Millicey fan, and this one seems to be winning him over. So 210 yards downhill, Dave, we know that that is going to be your 4 hybrid.
That's the one I'm going to hit, Chris, yeah.
Yeah, there we know that. It's all downhill here. We know at this time of the year we don't get much run, but we know potentially that here, that's going to be the club that gets us, because we know the pin is actually middle towards the back, so it's going to be on the green, giving us an uphill putt for a birdie.
Well, it's par 5, isn't it? You forget.
Dave forgot how far, what hole we're playing. And that is a fantastic shot, Dave. In balance, straight out of the middle of the club, chasing down towards that flag. So as we walk down to the green, Dave's got a massive grin on his face because he knows that this should be here somewhere. Well, we're hoping that now we've gone here. So this is a different finish here. Oh, yeah, we're on the fringe, Dave, so we've got a different nice wall effect here. So we should have just enough backswing to get there. So not quite the birdie putt he was expecting, but we know that that was a solid strike, as you saw by the tracer. But taking the slope into account, if this was in the summer, we know that would have ran on a little bit more. So what club are you thinking, Dave?
Well, as I was walking down, I was hoping I would be taking a putter, but I can't swing the putter back far enough to get it to the hole, so I'm going to play that rescue club again, I think.
Yeah, so rescue chip. So it's one of those clubs that people don't use too often, but in this case, very rare that you're going to have a little wall behind you. But it comes off a little bit faster off the face, so we know we have to make minimal motion to get the ball travelling what is probably 50, 60 feet. So, take it away, Dave. He doesn't want to get the back of his club on there either. So we see how that comes off a lot faster than a putter would, and that...
It's great for pace.
Fantastic shot, Dave. So a fantastic pin-high chip shot there from 50 feet, so that's left him 4 feet, so that would be inside tour average, so that's a fantastic shot, not the most conventional that people would expect, but it's a very effective shot if you give that a try. So now pressure is on. Dave with this putt to get out with a par. and it's easy. On to the next. So as you expect from a new rangefinder, the battery time is much better. So we've got 5 hours and it is rechargeable. So like was mentioned and previously on the par 5, we don't need batteries. How many people hate running out of battery and never having a battery on your old rangefinder? So this one is chargeable with a USB cable, so nice and easy for Dave to charge up if he remembers.
If I remember.
Fingers crossed you will, Dave. So how far have we got on this hole, Dave?
134 playing 143.
So 10 yards uphill, so into the breeze here, uphill, playing that 143. We're thinking 5-iron, Dave?
Yeah.
5-iron. Dave's just said to me, definitely not going for the flag, which is tucked behind the bunker. But this rangefinder's coming in at $199, as you'll see on screen now, so cheaper than previous models. You will see the extra added benefits that it does have with the 7.5 wide view. We also have it lightweight, compact, and we know we've got the vibration from Dave, which is one of Dave's favourite points of when you connect to the flag. So a lot of things on there that are fantastic for the price, which as we know is good for the everyday golfer. Dave said he wasn't going for the flag, but he has gone for the flag and he's found the bunker. So we're going to see,
which I knew was there because I'd millised it.
We're going to see a bit of sand playing. So you also see another thing that you can have on this rangefinder is scan mode, that you can lock onto different targets so you can stay ahead of the game, making sure that you know where the trouble is, how far the carries are, so you know exactly what club you are hitting on what line to help you put yourself in a good position and lower your score. So plenty of benefits of this rangefinder, a great price, which is what we're trying to do here on the Everyday Golfer, show you things that are more affordable but do the job and perform just as well.
And all that's fantastic, Chris, if you actually aim where you said you were going to aim.
It's always a good start. So over to Dave on the beach. So short side himself here as well on the beach. So Dave just made it the hardest shot to finish. So he's in here with his 60 degree. He's got his rake ready and we're going to see if we can get out of here with a par. Back-to-back pars would be great scores. Come on in, Dave.
I was going to go on 56.
Well, you go 56 then, Dave. Show us the magic. So he's not got his new 60 Tacoma wedge, which I thought he might give a go, but he believes, and he's been very good with this 56 out of the bunkers, so I can see why he's got it. And that's why...
Oh, get in! Yes!
And that's why, hopefully the quality's good enough, we're on Dave's phone as mine's died, but that, my friends, is why Dave chose a 56. Look how happy he is. So as that is the Millicent PF1. Dave's ball has just dropped into the hole for a steady 2, so we've gone a par and a 2, which means that Dave must be wanting a new rangefinder. So Dave, what did you think of it?
I thought it's very good, Chris. It's a lot lighter than the other one. As I've said, I like the fact that when you're locked onto something it vibrates, and also the fact that it works in the rain, which, you know, the other tried, but I've managed to make it fail a few times.
Yeah, so we play a lot in the rain here in the UK, but also the chargeable, obviously you can just plug it in USB.
Yeah.
Everybody has USBs now. You don't always have the small batteries that you had to put in the old style rangefinders. So a great rangefinder, something that's a little bit more affordable. Just comment below, guys, what else do you want to see Dave test? I mean, and thanks to Millicent for sending one out for Dave to test so far. Cracking reviews, but we'll see you again next week.
See you soon.